Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is going to be a really cool unboxing. This box, it's not a very big box, but it is filled with Golden Age Grails. I mean, big Grails. So let's get into it. It's going to be really awesome. So yeah, you'll see what I mean once I start showing some of the comics inside. These comics are of historical value as well. They're ones that kind of have either a first story series start or an important character or something of historical significance from the Golden Age. So I'm going to get into them. The first set of comics, there's a bunch actually inside the box. It's quite filled with stuff. And you'll see right off the bat what I'm talking about when I say Grails. The very first book, and these are not high-grade Grails. Some of them are, but the ones I'm about to show are not super high-grade Grails, but they are Grails. So the first one is Superboy #1. So that is, to me, a pretty major book. Even in a low grade, it's a pretty pricey book. I got all these from David Alexander, who has an awesome collection, and he sells his books through eBay and his own website. I recommend you buy it from his website. You can get a better deal. Yeah, so he has these big books. So this is a Superboy #1. As you can guess, it's the very first Superboy series, and it's kind of cool because it sort of reintroduces the whole concept of Superboy. So where they introduce, what is Superboy? Superboy is, what were you like as a boy, Superman? That's really what Superboy is about. The next big one, and again, these are all kind of low grade. And this one, I think maybe might need to be slightly unrestored. I guess it has some restoration, not restoration that would get it the purple label, but a restoration that is annoying. And I'll show you what I mean. This is Rangers #1. It was originally titled Rangers of Freedom, and you'll notice along the side there is this brown tape. Now that can be removed, and then it would present a lot better. But it's one of those things that it's kind of annoying that there is that tape. But this book is significant. I think it's the first appearance of the Ranger guy. What's his name? It might even say like Super Ranger or something like that. I forget his name. But it is the first Rangers comic. And Rangers actually kind of featured a lot of really major, it was a very long-running series, and it featured a lot of major characters. So it was kind of a cool one. It's where Firehair is, which is another one you'll see me show in other unboxings. She made her first appearance in Rangers. Rangers also had a lot of really great covers. They had a lot of these kind of either women in peril kind of situations or just extreme violence. One of the most violent covers, actually, I think it's Rangers 10 or 11, somewhere around there, is one where they show decapitation. Actually, with a bayonet, the guy gets his head chopped off. So Rangers is definitely an interesting series from the Golden Age. And it was very long running. So definitely a great one. Now, another big thing from the Golden Age is pre-code horror. And, this wouldn't be a Grail unboxing without showing some Grails in the pre-code horror. And this one is actually one that has been homage because it is such a famous cover. And it's a Maurice Whitman cover. It's Ghost #10. And it's just a great cover with skeletons and this woman trying to run away from this kind of nightmare situation. So Ghost #10. and that's a Maurice Whitman cover. So Ghost Comics, they ran from 1 to 11, and it's a pretty great series. The covers are just amazing for it. The next one is one that I wish I could have gotten a better grade. This is probably like a VG minus, I would say, like a VG minus, like maybe good VG kind of level. It's in that kind of 3.0 level. So this is Thrilling Comics number 61. It's just a really great, just a really great Alex Schomburg airbrushed cover. So this is Thrilling Comics number 61. Just a really great, you know, she's fighting the crocodile. Kind of an awesome cover. And that's Princess Panther. Just a character, another character that I like from the Golden Age. Now, this one I'm actually going to open up because it's kind of cool, and it doesn't look like much if I show it. And you'll be like, oh, that's not really great. But it is a rare comic. And not even a comic. I shouldn't say it's a comic because it isn't a comic. It's a pulp. But it is a very rare pulp. And I'll show you it. I'm just going to open it up here. Because you'll probably wonder, why is he buying this crappy looking pulp? It does look like crap. Because it's coverless. It is coverless. It is in really rough shape. You can see it's just like not the greatest looking. But believe it or not, this is actually a pretty major book. So this is Spicy Detective Stories. Actually, I got better versions of some of these Spicy Detectives, but Spicy Detective Stories or comics is where actually, or Spicy Detective Stories actually, is where Sally the Sleuth, another character that I like from the Golden Age, made their first appearance. Now, this book isn't the one that she made her first appearance, but it is one that I believe features her in it. Let me just see if I can show you. I'm going to try to find. So I'll show you. This is a little bit risque. This is Sally the Sleuth right there. And she's always wearing these skimpy clothes and trying to solve detective series. I believe that's Sally the Sleuth. So these ones, it featured a lot of like skimpily dressed women. You can see. This is in really rough shape. It is not, I don't even think it's complete. It looks like it's missing some pages. It is in just really rough shape. I didn't pay much for it. If it was complete, you know, even in a low grade complete, you're looking at hundreds of dollars. This I think I paid like $20, $30. And it was really just to get the comic, to get, you know, to be able to look through it even. And you can see like really spicy stuff. These came from the early 30s and they ran into the 40s. And it was just kind of, you know, they're really rough. Let me see if I can find Sally the Sleuth story. Sally the Sleuth number 54. So actually, maybe that wasn't Sally the Sleuth that I showed. And of course, the Sally the Sleuth story is the one that's ripped out. Oh, well, okay. So I gotta, well, it's kind of sad, but it was cheap. It was like, as I said, it wasn't much, but it is kind of a cool book. And I'm going to show you some more. So I got two books like that. And they're both, as I said, they're both really rough shape. Yeah, they're, you know, so the second one is this one. Again, it does feature Sally the Sleuth. And it's just another one of these spicy detective stories. You can see on the side there. This is from June. I'm not sure what year. Doesn't say. But it's probably June. I think it's June like late 30s or early 40s maybe. So it's kind of a cool book. I'll actually go through those and kind of read them a bit because they're in such bad shape. I will kind of go through them. Now, this is actually kind of an interesting one, and it's one that I've seen a lot, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So this is Jungle Comics 74. Now, that's not what I'm actually talking about. There's nothing super special about this. It's just kind of a cool comic. But what I've seen, and it's almost like a pedigree in itself, that some idiot in the 40s, he went around marking up all his Jungle comics by writing these numbers and all over the characters. I don't know why they did that, but I've seen excuse me, I've seen dozens where they've written the date all over the character, the female character, on these Jungle comics. And I've seen literally dozens where they've done this. And I think it's one collection that just happened to be this way, where the kid wrote all over his Jungle comics. I'm not sure why, but it's something that I've seen. And it's kind of annoying. If anyone knows in the comments below, tell me, how can you get this removed? Like, how can you remove this? I don't think you can, but it'd be nice if I could remove that pen from the cover. Again, that was not one of the big grails in this box. It was just a cool comic. Now, getting into more grails, this is kind of a really major one because it's America's Best Comics number 10. This is a grail because of the cover. It's one of those ones where it's a bondage cover, and it's one with a hot poker. Now, in the Golden Age, those were kind of big things that almost taboo, that they would try to break the taboo with with a lot of Golden Age comics. But it was one of those things that led to the Comic Code Authority, and these were the covers that were considered the most spicy from the Golden Age, where there's some kind of branding or hot poker to the eye kind of thing. And that's what this is. This is like the crazy evil man with the hot poker, and he's about to brand this poor woman in bondage. And you can see all the heroes coming in to try to save her. So, it's just a really great, I believe it's Alex Schomburg as well. So, we've got a whole bunch of things going on for this cover. And just another one of these great Golden Age covers. This is America's Best Comics number 10. Really, really wonderful book. Yeah, it's an Alex Schomburg. Okay, next is, this is Land of the Lost number 7. You can see the little skeleton guy in the background and the little kids. Now, Land of the Lost is actually a series that was based on a radio show, where it was basically these adventures, kind of fantasy adventures of these two children, and they're in this kind of weird world, Land of the Lost. And in this one, it's considered, because it's by EC Comics, is considered their very first horror cover. Now, before that, like a lot of the EC covers they did a lot of like stories from the Bible and all these kind of very more innocent based things. And then they did Land of the Lost, which was still, meant for young kids. It was designed for young kids. But this was the first horror cover. And this is from October of 1947. So just a really great first horror cover for EC. So I think it's a really cool book. This is just a really great one. And it's a reasonable grade. Okay. Next one. Another really kind of cool comic. And it's not a grail. This is not a grail, but it is a cool comic. This is Fight Comics, number, I believe, 67. It's just a really great cover. I'm not actually sure who did the cover. It might be a Matt Baker or, one of those kind of artists from the Golden Age. I'm not sure who did this cover, but, these Fight Comics had some really great covers. I've been picking them up, a lot of the Good Girl, Jungle Girl kind of covers. So that's not a major one. But the next one I am going to show you is kind of a major one. Even in low grade, it's considered a pretty pricey book. This is Vuda number 21. And this is a Matt Baker cover. And that's why it's considered pretty valuable. Any of his Good Girl art from Matt Baker usually go for pretty hefty prices. A good example of that would be either the Phantom Lady or Seven Seas comics that had Matt Baker covers. Those command thousands of dollars. This is a much more affordable Good Girl cover. But if you look at it, you'll notice it's very similar to Phantom Lady. Just the style of the woman just really reminds me of Phantom Lady. So I think it's a really interesting one. This is Vuda number 21. And Vuda actually only ran for 3 issues. So this is the second in the series. So it's 21, but really there's only 3 issues in the series where it was named Vuda. A lot of these Golden Age ones, what they would do is they would originally title it something else, and then they would change the name, and then they would keep the numbering system. A lot of the time, the reason they would do that is in order to make it look like a series is really successful, they prefer to have later numbers. So they would try to maintain the numbers as much as possible just to show that the series has legs. And this one does have legs, sexy legs. So this is Vuda number 21. Nice Matt Baker cover. Okay, another kind of a cool one. And again, this is another one where it's the beginning of a series, but it's numbered differently. And this is Dorothy Lamore, number 2. And it really is number 1. So I think it was called Dorothy Lamore, like Jungle Princess or something else. It was something else before this, or Jungle Princess. It was something other than Dorothy Lamore. But it became Dorothy Lamore in issue number 2. And it's just a really great, Golden Age book with a lot of the time what they would try to do is leverage actresses and, kind of use their fame in order to promote their books. And that's what this is. So, and I think it's kind of cool how, you have her on the cover and you have like a little, almost like a film strip along the bottom. And I just think it's a really great book. So, Dorothy Lamore, number 2. Okay, we're getting into a couple last book to show. And this is the big one. So this is the most expensive. It's like this, half the price of this whole collection was in this one book. And this is one of those books, I believe it's like, I think there's less than 10 on the census. It's a really rare book. It's one that is sought after by collectors. And it's in high grade. So it's got so many things going for it. And this is Blonde Phantom number 12. Now, before this, it was called All Select Comics. And I actually have All Select Comics number 11 right up there, which you can't see. It's out of the range. But that was the first appearance of Blonde Phantom. And I think she must have been a really popular character right off the bat because they went into renaming the series Blonde Phantom. So this is Blonde Phantom number 12, but it's really Blonde Phantom number 1. And it's her first title. So it says first issue, formerly All Select Comics, Miss America story, last Mr. Wu. And it's just a really great cover. I love these Good Girl covers from the 40s, from the Golden Age. This is from 1946, and it is who did the cover? Sid Shores. Yeah, I should have known that actually. Sid Shores did the cover. Another famous Golden Age artist. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's really reflective. It's just a really great cover. I really like Blonde Phantom. She's just a kind of a cool Golden Age character. She would always wear these kind of sexy red dresses. That's her style. And then she would solve cases and crimes and stuff. She was kind of like a socialite. Very, very tropey kind of story to her. She's just like, they would have sort of an archetype for female characters, female heroes, where they would be like this socialite who's a little bit bored with their lives and wants to go fight crime. And they would literally just wear a simple dress or something and a mask. And that'd be their costume. And it would be like so obvious who they are. It's like, Clark Kent wearing glasses. but for some reason, nobody could figure out who they were. It's, it's very interesting. So this is Blonde Phantom number 12. And as I said, this is really the second time that we see Blonde Phantom. So just a really great character from the Golden Age. They actually brought her back into the modern age. And she's still a really great character. So I really enjoy Blonde Phantom. And that is actually from Timely. That's a Timely comic, which is Marvel. So she's a Marvel character that, you know, that's just really cool. So this has been my Grail unboxing. So we saw first Superboy, we saw first Rangers, first Blonde Phantom, first Dorothy Lamore. So just a bunch of firsts. And it was just, you know, to me, this was like a really big thing. I was like super excited. There was like a tracking number provided with this shipment. And I was like just checking it every day. I was like so excited for this to come. So I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. Which Grail in the ones that I showed did you like the best? I'd like to hear that. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.